Donald Trump will soon become the 47th President of the United States. The Republican won all 7 battleground states in a decisive election victory just last week, of course. So exactly how did this all unfold? To discuss the outcome, I'm joined by Professor of Politics at Flinders University, Rodrigo Praino. Rodrigo, thank you for your time this morning. I mean, Americans spoke in a pretty bold way. Were you surprised by the result?
Well, not surprised with the result. We always knew that the election was going to be very close. I think that while we are talking about this landslide victory of Donald Trump, of course, he won 312 electoral college votes against 226 of Kamala Harris, and he actually carried the popular vote as well this time, which is something he didn't do in 2016. I think we need to focus a little bit on the internal results on each state in the U.S. And the truth of the matter is that the American public is divided, and it's almost half and half. So yes, Donald Trump won the election. It's a clear win, but it is also one that on a state basis is closer than we're talking about in the media right now. So America is deeply divided. About half of America wants Donald Trump to be president. About half doesn't want Donald Trump to be president. So the division that we've seen in the past few years will probably continue during his presidency.
Yes, you mentioned there that it wasn't close, but we have to remind everyone that, I mean, Donald Trump won all 7 battleground states. But as you mentioned, when you look inside the counties, and there will be division here for those who voted for the Democrats. Do you think that Trump can unite moving forward? Do you think that his second presidency may look a little different, perhaps?
So I hope that that's what happens, right? I think that the one clear thing that we can take out as lesson from what has happened in this election in the U.S. is that people definitely voted for change. They essentially equated the current Harris with the current administration, and they are unhappy. 75% of Americans have been declaring that they are unhappy with the way that the country is going. About the same amount of people declares that they have issues with the high cost of living and inflation. They are very unhappy with the direction of the economy. They're very unhappy with the policies that the current administration has enacted in order to try to address this problem. So they voted for change. When that happens, people have a glimmer of hope. The other interesting thing that I saw during the exit polls, about 3/4 of Americans also says that the best days of America are definitely in the future, not in the past. So I think the U.S. population has some hope that things are going to get better, and I hope Donald Trump is able to ride that wave, put people together and build a better future for Americans in the next 4 years.
Rodrigo, I just want to ask you, we're just seeing those images on the screen of Oprah Winfrey and Kamala Harris holding hands there walking onto the stage, but we've just heard that Oprah Winfrey was actually paid over $1 million. How do you think voters will be taking that one?
I think celebrity endorsements are complicated. We don't even know how much they actually work. The truth is this: if celebrity endorsements worked very well, the Democrats would win every single election in the country, because there's very few celebrities that actually side with the Republican Party. Some of them are compensated, some of them are not compensated. I'm not sure how actually effective these endorsements are. But I do think that
I don't think they're very effective at all. I think Americans obviously are struggling to put food on the table, some working multiple jobs, and obviously it didn't work because the Harris campaign went worse than what the Biden campaign went as well. So obviously those celebrity endorsements didn't really work out for the Harris campaign, who spent a lot of money on it. Moving to voters now, though, many see Trump as a vote for change, as you mentioned, and good for the US economy and strong when it comes to international relations and conflict. Do you agree with this?
Well, I think the issue with Trump is that there is the Trump that says the things he says, and then there is the Trump that does the things he does, right? And they're not always the same person. Whether or not he's strong for international relations, he's clearly different from everyone else. The 4 years that he had in power showed that his approach to international relations is very different from the regular type of behavior that not only Democrats but also Republicans put forward. There's reports today that he has spoken with Vladimir Putin already and has asked him not to escalate things in Ukraine. So I think we will clearly see and certainly see a different approach to international relations. Whether or not it's successful, I think we'll have to see what happens during the next 4 years. But it is certainly going to be different.
Rodrigo, thank you for your time today and your analysis. I really appreciate it.